Now we're going to do the ID work on this part. So in this case, there are some things that I don't need to see. Obviously, this chuck would be in my way, as well as the extension that we created for the back of the part. So I could expand my model, go to my bodies, and turn off the body that is that extension. And over here, you'll see the chuck. I could change the visibility setting for the chuck. And now I'm just looking at the part. And of course, if you wanted to import that chuck again and put it on the other side of the part, that would be entirely up to you. But that might be something you'd want to do for better visualization of the machining process. Now for this next process, we're also going to have to create a new setup. So go to Setup. Our operation type is going to be a mill turn operation. We're going to be working on the secondary spindle in radius mode. In some cases, you may want to use continue machining from the previous setup. That will take into consideration what was already done. Won't matter for the kind of work we're doing because we're only going to be facing this and working on the inside. Nothing that was previously done will affect the work that we are about to do. The Z and the X are already pointing in the correct direction, and it's referenced from the front of the stock here. We do need to define our stock. In this case, I'll also use a relative size cylinder. I don't want to add anything to the outside, but I did leave 40,000 stock on the face. And I'm not going to use the rounding up function. So let's go back to Setup, and I'm going to change my home position to be 2 inches off of that face. Now, since we only have one model visible on the screen right now, it has assumed that that body is what we're going to be machining. So there really is nothing to select, and we're not doing any undercuts in here, so we don't have to worry about it being a spun profile. So we'll OK that. Now we have our second setup. Now, of course, we can rename this setup. We'll click inside there, and I'll say Operation OD. And for this one, I'll click in here and say Operation ID. Or you could say main spindle, SubSpindle, whatever you want to put there. And of course, I can minimize that. And you'll also notice that our new setup is the currently active setup that we're working with. So any new toolpaths that we create will automatically show up in this setup folder. If you needed to go back and change something in the previous setup, you would simply activate that. And now any new toolpath I create will be in here. But as I said, now we're working in the ID.